Peacemaker is the newest show on HBO Max created by James Gunn, who directed the last Suicide Squad movie for Warner Brothers. The show follows one of the superheroes, or supervillains, however you want to call it, from Gunn's Suicide Squad called Peacemaker after the events of the movie. While we've had superhero TV shows before, most notably by Disney starting in the beginning of 2021 with WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and whatnot, this show is unlike others I've seen on TV. So what makes Peacemaker one of the best shows on TV? What makes it an enjoyable watch when we already have a plethora of critically acclaimed TV shows and highly regarded superhero shows? Now before we get into the nitty-gritty, I'm making this video while we wait for episodes 7 and 8, the final 2 episodes of season 1. However, I'm confident that all the arguments I will make still hold up at the end of this season, because that's how good the TV show has been so far. It will continue to be good till it ends. That being said, let's get into it. First thing is that it's rated R. Now being rated R isn't anything new in of itself, but it is refreshing to see a TV show, especially with a superhero, that delves into this territory when looking at it side by side compared to Marvel. Now there are superhero shows that are rated R, such as The Boys on Amazon Prime, but where Peacemaker differentiates itself is that it walks between the lines of taking itself seriously and having fun, something that the creator James Gunn has perfected over the years. Now if the name James Gunn sounds familiar, well that's because he was also the director of Guardians of the Galaxy franchise for Marvel, and in a way you know what you're getting yourself into when you watch his works. I was pleasantly surprised to see how well the show lives up to its ratings. Many times studios tone stuff down so it can appeal to a broader audience, and a lot of times when it's rated R, it doesn't really do anything special to earn that rating, it just has an excessive gore and violence to it. Peacemaker definitely gives you a sensation that if it was anything but rated R, then it would be drastically different than what we have today. Next reason why I like the show is that it's very well written, that's all. I think we take good writing for granted when nowadays there are so many TV shows that don't live up to the mark, such as iCarly for being one. But overall this show is very well written and each episode is interesting with a unique plot point that drives the main story forward. Not a single episode felt like a filler or unneeded, which is to be expected, yet even all the individual scenes feel important and needed. Everything that you're being shown is part of a larger story and it's important to keep up. It's very well paced so things don't generally slow down and start feeling like a drag. In fact, Peacemaker throws everything at you within the first episode. Who he is, what is his assignment, who are his team members, what are their personality lies, etc. And I very much appreciate that. Speaking of writing, the show is also just funny. There are enough moments where I'm laughing every 5 minutes or so, either because of something that someone said, or because Peacemaker is acting like Peacemaker. The jokes are very well written and well timed. There aren't a whole lot of gags that feel drawn out for too long. Usually we go from jokes into action, into plotting and planning, and then back all over again. If you're a fan of comedies and funny TV shows, then this is definitely on your radar, even if you don't like superheroes that much. The thing about the writing, which I've never experienced with any TV show before, is that every episode leaves me feeling satisfied. One of the common criticisms I have with another TV show that I'm watching right now is that each episode lacks fulfillment due to the need to create hype and lead up to the next episode. I understand that the creators want you to be engaged and question everything and be intrigued, but it feels like it comes at a cost of writing and slower paced episodes. Yet Peacemaker manages to avoid all of that. Don't get me wrong, almost all episodes end on a cliffhanger. I mean, why wouldn't they? They want you to be invested and come back next week. Each episode is stuffed with meaningful content that you aren't left wanting more. You end up appreciating what you've got and feel satisfied. It's very hard to explain unless you felt it before, where you're so invested yet the episode ends and you get mad at the makers for having you wait. Here, same thing, except for some reason I never got mad at the makers. Every time the episode ended, I felt joy and completed. I'm actually okay with waiting 1 week for every episode drop, something which I can't say about other TV shows. It sounds like a bad thing, but for some reason I consider it to be a good thing and I'm glad this is happening. And my last reason is that I love John Cena. In fact, I think his best genre is comedy. It suits him well and he's done a fantastic job in the past with movies such as Blockers, where he played an overprotective dad, constantly stalking his daughter on prom night. I find it amusing when you have large people and characters but end up being funny because they're slightly ignorant or lacking common knowledge. It's something very specific but it speaks well to me. And here you have this homunculus of a guy playing a homunculus of a character, yet his ignorance blinds him and causes stress for other characters around him. Like I said, It's very funny and it's a very specific trope that I enjoy. Overall, I think the show is very well made and the production quality is on par with Marvel's TV shows. James Gunn has infused his own style into the show and it really shows for episodes he has directed. If there is a season 2, then I will definitely consider watching it. So the question is it time to upgrade Peacemaker for a full-fledged solo movie? I think it's possible and I think it's deserved. So are you guys going to watch Peacemaker if you haven't already? Warning, the first few episodes are weird, but it's still worth it. If you haven't seen Peacemaker, are you excited for season 2? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time.